Well, a current subscriber sent in some questions about engaging with clients. I figured I'd answer them. Let's get to it. Hey, it's Alzay Calhoun with Coveted Consultant, and we've got a community member who sent in some questions, and I thought I'd make a video addressing them. They're all about engaging with prospective clients. And so while I'm doing this, if any question of yours comes to mind, please post that in the comment box below, and we'll just kind of keep this rhythm moving. If we like this, I'll make more videos like this. So this particular person is a content writer, so that's his area of expertise in the digital marketing space, but he calls himself an old school content writer. So, he didn't grow up on Facebook or Twitter. That's not where he cut his teeth in this business. He's got writing skills, and he's still trying to figure out how to find his niche and find his space as a legitimate writer in this now digital media dominated marketplace. So here's one of the things that he asked. What do you do when client prospects go dark? So this scenario is you've been interacting with someone about doing business, about possibly doing work with them, and you were interacting for a little while. Maybe it was 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, whatever it was. And at some point in the interaction, they just go dark, like they stop talking to you. What happened? What's going on? How do you rekindle that conversation? I think there are a couple of things that need to be acknowledged on the front end. Number one is that your prospective client, who probably runs a business, is busy. They have 100 other things going on that are different and separate from what you think is important, which is selling more of your services. So they may not respond with the same speed that you think they should. Second really important thing about this conversation is that as you're engaging with this prospective client, do you understand the problem that they're facing? Or are you anxious to figure out what kind of service they want to purchase from you? So again, in this digital marketing space, there's so many things you could sell people. Most of your clients do not understand all these different digital marketing avenues. It's overwhelming for them, and they don't want to talk about those tools and techniques. What they want is to use digital marketing to take one of those many things off their list. So if someone has gone dark, it's probably because your conversation is no longer focused on solving their problem, or they don't believe that what you're talking about will actually solve a problem of theirs. Third major part of this is keep marketing. So there are other prospects out there are other clients out there that need help. Perhaps the timing is better with someone else. Just don't get stuck interacting with this particular person if they happen to have gone dark on you. Question number 2 he wrote was, when do you talk about money in a prospect discussion? So you and the client are engaged in conversation and you're trying to figure out when you bring up money. So this YouTube channel has a very specific focus. What I believe in are productized services. So you should pre-package an offering, and that offering should have a set time frame, a set scope, and a set price. I do not believe that you should be arm wrestling with clients trying to figure out what their budget may or may not be. I think that's the wrong way to go. I think you should come like an expert and say, listen, if you want to go from here to here, we can get you there under this time frame, at this price, and at this scope of work. I just think it's an easier way of communicating. So with that being said, the first thing you should do when you interact with them, or in that first set of interactions, depending on how you're doing things, is to understand what they're faced with. What problem do they have? And then as they're talking things through and you're understanding that, you're mapping that against how you know you can deliver services, how you know you can deliver at a high level. So if what they say matches up against how you work, you've got to match. Say, listen, for X $1,000, I can get you from here to here. For $40,000, for $2.5 million, I can get you from here to here. What do you say? Do you want to go ahead and get started? That's just an easier conversation to have than trying to figure out when budget is and when's the best price to tell them how much it cost. Skip that. Question 3 is, how do you avoid spam filters or being labeled as spam? So I'm assuming that he's doing email outreach in some way, and how do you make sure you don't find yourself in a spam folder? There's a very complex answer to this question that frankly is over and above my knowledge base. I'm not a spam expert. I'm not an email expert in that way, so I won't even act like I am. What I will do is I'll find a link to an article and I'll put it in the description, and then you can click that and kind of you can nerd out about it if you want. What I'll say in practicality is that you can't control it. So you can't literally control if a given email goes into spam or not. What you can control is the level of content that's in every email you send. And if you focus on sending helpful content, if you focus on having real legitimate conversations, then a lot fewer of your emails will end up in the spam folder. Question number 4. New marketing efforts for old school businesses. So I told you he's an old school kind of guy, and that's kind of his sensibility. What I would say to him and anybody else who kind of feels like they're from the old school is do not learn anything new. So in your old school training, in your old school successes, there are some things that you know work. And so if cold calling works because you know how to do it, then pick up the phone and start calling. If snail mail is how you do it, because that's how you know how to do it, write handwritten letters, well then get writing some letters, because that's what you know how to do. So there are so many new things you can learn. You spend more time learning and less time executing. You don't make any money learning. You make money executing. There are some things that I recommend, kind of as if you were a client of mine, I would recommend to you. But before we get into any of my philosophies and theories, you should be executing on things that you feel the most comfortable with. Do them every day, do them aggressively, and skip this extra learning that's fun, but it's not profitable. Question number 5 is, what is spam anyway? So spam is one of those terms that we use basically to kind of capture the idea of unwanted email. Anytime we get an unwanted email, we label it as spam. But actually there is a very definitive definition of spam, and essentially that is soliciting business from folks who do not want to be solicited. So that's sending commercial email to people who do not want commercial email. There's also a more nerdy, longer, kind of legalistic definition of that, and I'll put that in the comment box below. Well, there you have it. He sent in some questions and he got himself some answers. So if you've got a question or comment of your own, please post that in the comment box below. We'll review those and create more of these videos if you like it. Second thing is, did you like this format? Did it work for you? If you like it, let me know. If you didn't, say you didn't and make a suggestion about something else, and perhaps we'll go in that route. In any case, thanks for the questions, thanks for the engagement, and I'll see you in the next video.